It was a rainy afternoon, the kind where clouds hung low, heavy with unshed tears mirroring my own. I was curled up in my favorite armchair, the scent of my wife's famous chicken soup wafting through the air, comforting and familiar. That's when my phone buzzed, cutting through the serene atmosphere. A message from my sister Amira flashed on the screen. "Can we talk? It's important." I immediately sensed that something was off. Amira and I had always been close, but she had been distant lately. I quickly agreed to meet her at our favorite cafe, a quaint little place filled with memories of laughter and love. Little did I know that this meeting would change everything. As I sat there waiting for her to arrive, I couldn't shake the feeling that the ground beneath me was about to shift. When she walked in, her expression was a troubling mix of resolution and sadness. "I'm leaving, Samir," she said, and my heart plunged. "And I'm taking Aisha with me." Amira's words hung in the air like a storm cloud threatening to burst. I felt the initial shock fade into a deep incredulity. "You're leaving? And taking Aisha? Why on earth would you do this?" Amira looked away, wiping away a tear that threatened to spill over. "I can't stay here any longer, Samir. This place reminds me of everything I've lost. I need to find myself away from here, and Aisha deserves better." Aisha, my lively niece, was only 5 but had captured my heart instantly. She was the joy in our family, a little whirlwind of laughter and creativity. "But she needs her family. She needs us," I protested, my voice rising, panic taking hold. "How could she do this to us? To her child? This isn't just for me," she whispered, her voice breaking. "This is for her future. I need to be a better mother, and chasing after old ghosts isn't helping anyone." As the words settled heavily between us, I felt a lump in my throat. Here was Amira, my little sister, making a choice that felt focused, yet so devastatingly wrong. The days that followed this conversation felt endless. The joy in our family was extinguished. Without Aisha, the house felt empty. The silence roared in my ears, each moment stretching painfully. Our parents remained naively unaware. I couldn't bear to burden them with the truth. I threw myself into my work, but even that ceased to be a distraction. I wandered through days like a ghost, going through the motions, until a message from Amira jolted me back. "We're leaving on Saturday." That Saturday dawned cold and gray. I stood at the edge of our driveway, struggling against a whirlwind of emotions. I watched Amira and Aisha load their belongings into a small car. Aisha clutched her teddy bear, a token of comfort in an uncertain journey. "Please don't go," I begged, tears springing to my eyes. "You could still change your mind." "Samir." Amira's voice was firm. "This is what I need. I'm doing this for Aisha." But I could feel my niece's innocence slipping away as she climbed into the back of the car, unaware of the finality of the moment. Life after they left fell into a monotonous routine. Every corner of the house held their absence, each room echoing with memories of laughter that now felt eerily haunting. I missed Aisha's playful energy, the way she'd rush into my arms and giggle when I tickled her sides, and why parents noticed my increasing sadness. "You should call her," Mom urged one evening over dinner, concern etched on her face. "It's important to stay connected." I planted the seeds of hope within myself. "I will," I promised, but I hesitated. Part of me feared what the conversation might reveal. Weeks turned into months, and the ache in my heart deepened. I occasionally received updates from Amira, short, cryptic messages that spoke of new beginnings but felt devoid of warmth. As winter crept in, I found myself longing to see Aisha. The holiday season was approaching, and it felt cruel to celebrate without them. This time I decided to take action. I would visit Amira. I planned to drive through the snow and remind them how loved they were. On a crisp December morning, I packed a small bag, loading it with gifts for Aisha, books, toys, and her favorite snacks. The journey ahead was long, but my resolve was stronger than ever. A few hours behind the wheel, the landscape changed. The quaint little town they had moved to appeared different from our bustling city. As I drove through the picturesque streets, snow-dusted rooftops, twinkling lights, I felt a sense of anticipation mingled with anxiety. Upon arriving at Amira's home, I hesitated. Would she welcome me? What if she had truly settled in and forgotten us? Taking a deep breath, I knocked on the door, my heart racing. Aisha opened the door, her face lighting up with surprise and pure joy. "Uncle Samir!" she shrieked, throwing herself into my arms. The warmth of her small body enveloped me, and for a fleeting moment, everything felt okay again. "Hey there, sweet pea. I missed you," I said, holding her tightly. Amira appeared soon after, her expression a mix of surprise and defensiveness. "What are you doing here?" she asked, her voice flat. "I came to see you both," I replied, meeting her unsure gaze. "I miss you, Amira." "We all do." We spent the next few days trying to reconnect, sharing meals and stories. Aisha filled the room with laughter, but I could still see the tension weighing heavily on Amira. We avoided the elephant in the room, her decision to leave and the changes it had brought not just to her life, but to our entire family. One chilly evening, I found a moment alone with Amira while Aisha was busy playing. "Talk to me," I urged softly. "What are you feeling?" She hesitated for a moment, her eyes glistening with unspoken emotion. emotions. I thought leaving would make things better for Aisha and me, she finally confessed. But being away has only made me realize how much I miss home, how much I miss us. I understand, I said gently, but family should be part of your journey, not something you leave behind. You don't have to do this alone. I thought it was for the best, Amira said, biting her lip, but I'm not sure anymore. I see how happy Aisha is here, but I also see the sadness in her eyes when she hears your name. Over the following days, we continued those heartfelt discussions, slowly peeling back the layers of hurt and misunderstanding. Aisha played with her toys, blissfully unaware of the emotional upheaval transpiring between her mother and me. On one of those nights, as Aisha and I built a snowman outside, she looked at me seriously and said, "Uncle Samir, can we go have a picnic at the park like we used to?" My heart sank. Of course we can. In spring when the flowers grow. Will mommy be there? Aisha asked innocently. Sure, but all our family, all of us. I smiled, hoping to convey the joy we shared would extend beyond this moment. Good, she nodded, because I want everyone together. It was always fun then. That statement hit me. Children have a unique ability to see connections where adults often get lost in complications. As we laughed and played in the snow, I realized I needed to fight for not just Amira, but also for Aisha. The holidays came and went, and all of us began to rediscover the beauty of familial love. As I started to prepare for my journey back home, I spoke to Amira about seeking a more stable living arrangement back with us. Maybe we all could move back, I offered cautiously. Back? She eyed me surprised. But what about the life I've built here? Life isn't just about your physical surroundings. It's about where love resides. Aisha needs her family, Amira, and you're worth fighting for. It was a pivotal moment. I knew it would take more than just pleading to change her mind, but our conversations over the weeks had begun to sow seeds of doubt about her original decision. A few weeks later, armed with hope and a resolve to change our future, I approached Amira about returning home. I want us to be together, to heal and grow. Aisha deserves a family filled with love and support. And what about my need for a new start? She asked, uncertainty pooling in her gaze. We can create that together. You don't have to bear this burden alone, I assured her. Let's build new memories where we once shared joy and laughter. Over the following days, we explored the idea together, discussing logistics, schools for Aisha, even potential jobs for Amira back in our city. Little by little, she began to soften the edges of her decision, recognizing that maybe moving back wasn't a failure, but a chance to explore new beginnings surrounded by family. As spring approached, Amira made the call to move back. The reality of it felt powerful. Happiness flashed across Aisha's face when she learned she would be back with her cousins, back to familiar parks and cherished moments. When the moving truck arrived on that sunlit morning, Aisha rushed to help, her excitement contagious. Amira and I shared a strong glance, both of us fully aware of the journey ahead. Throughout the packing process, laughter filled the air, reminding us of what we had almost lost. Aisha's giggles intermingled with our conversations, and each box representing another step toward rekindling family bonds. As we settled back into the old neighborhood, the change felt transformative. We regularly celebrated Friday family dinners and created new traditions, allowing laughter and warmth to fill the once quiet corners of our lives. I saw Amira find solace in the support of our parents, discovering that our family had resources to lift every one of us up. Aisha blossomed in the loving environment, making friends and painting her world with joy. The road hadn't always been smooth. There were still moments of tension, but as the family came together, we learned to navigate through them with understanding and love. One evening as we gathered for dessert, I marveled at how far we had come. This is what family is about, I said, watching Aisha laughing with her cousins. No matter how far apart we may roam, love always brings us back together. Months rolled by, and Amira started creating a new routine. She secured a job that made her passionate, a meaningful role as a counselor at a local school where she could guide children through difficulties. Thank you for encouraging me to pursue this, she said one night, a sandwich step away from me on the table. It's fulfilling, and I never knew how much I needed that sense of purpose. You never needed to be alone. I'm proud of you, I replied, feeling a sense of completion in the journey we've undertaken. During a family gathering in the park, as the sun began to set, we watched Aisha chasing butterflies with the innocent abandon that only a child can have. I looked at Amira. She had bloomed since returning. Life can be unpredictable, can't it? I mused, feeling a deeper appreciation for the moments we had taken for granted. But together we are unstoppable. Amira nodded, her eyes shimmering with realization. I'm grateful for the second chance we've found, Samir. Thank you for never giving up on me or Aisha. And as the laughter of our family echoed around us, I knew it was a reminder of our collective strength. The journey might have started with loss, but together we emerged wiser, bonded, and deeply rooted in love. As the years unfurled, the roots of our family grew deeper, shaping a solid foundation for future generations. Aisha was nurtured in an environment rich with affection and care, learning the importance of family and the value of resilience. Our journey illuminated underlying truths: that love can withstand the harshest trials, that relationships require nurturing to blossom, and that home, true home, lies not within physical walls but rather in the hearts we hold dear. The memories we once feared losing transformed into chapters of perseverance, rewriting our story as one of hope, warmth, and unbreakable bonds. In the end, my sister's departure taught us the powerful lesson of returning home, and in that homecoming we found a new beginning, but most importantly, we discovered each other once again.